All right, welcome back, guys. Hopefully you had a good 10-minute break, and we are now back to bring you Immortals versus Caren Tigers. Now, this one was the one I was waiting for today, for sure.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the best one of the night, for sure. Now, the Immortals are looking better and better these days, but Caren Tigers is still a big favorite going into this match. And I feel like Caren Tigers' level of play has actually gotten better and better. Like, at the beginning of this tournament, they looked really even with B Gaming, but they were still, definitely really good. They had some tough matches. They had some comebacks they had to win through, but now anyone who touches them gets destroyed. And I'm really looking forward to actually seeing them face Elon a little bit later on, because that's going to be epic. That's going to be
a, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Wolf. That's going to be probably the best game possible here, almost like a mini, APAC-ASIA, or like Asia Finals for the Gold Series. But anyway, we have Immortals versus Caren Tigers, and I think this is really important for Immortals, especially because going up against a harder team, I feel like it's good for your team because it helps you really, focus and like put to use that strategy that you've been really trying to work on, And especially when your opponent is stronger, or you think they're stronger than you, it kind of gives you that extra push.
Sure. It's like training with like extra heavy weights. When you go back to the normal size weights, it feels like it's so easy. So if you can almost beat the best teams when you play against some of the weaker teams, you crush them and you get your 3 points for sure every time. I think that's kind of what Caren Tigers dealt with. They had a tougher, first starting match. Like they hit B Gaming on one of their first matches in the very beginning of the season. That's a really good team too. That's from the same region. And then they were able to barely win that, but then the next time they played B Gaming, they crushed them. They did. And they're just looking better and better and better. So really like Caren's Tigers' chances here. I think the Immortals might be able to take a game, though. Don't underestimate them.
I am definitely not underestimating them.
I'm telling them. I know you're not. I'm just like, you guys. Don't underestimate them.
Well, yeah.
She and I, we know. You guys, if you don't believe me, you're about to find out. Don't underestimate them.
You realize now if Caren Tigers goes 5-0, we just sound really dumb.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have. That means Caren Tigers also didn't underestimate them. Like,
yes.
They took it
all, So Immortals has been really strong. Again, though, they have on days, they have off days, and that's what I'm feeling a lot from some of these teams that are in the middle. Caren Tigers seems to not have an off day at all, especially with their amazing RD player.
Yeah,
we have Obelisk on. I kind of want Caren Tigers to. I said this last time. I want them to come to Korea for the finals because I kind of want to shake his hand and take a picture with him.
Well, I definitely will be if he doesn't. If he doesn't, I guess I got to go to Japan. But I love Japan. It's a great place.
You speak Japanese, don't you?
Oh, only a little bit. Like just a little bit.
No.
Just like a very small amount.
That's probably a little bit more than me. But here we go.
I can read. Like I can read a little bit. Like
I'm decent. Can you
at.
show us your reading skills now?
Yeah, here. Let me show you guys. Unreal Rogue, of course. Well, I'm not gonna read all these off. don't get me started, Suzu. I will. Let's talk about the players that we see the most on the Immortals. Sun, Hades, Ningyo. These are some of the better ones. Reaper. Unreal Rogue also comes to play quite a lot. It ends up being kind of like a, more of a captain. I guess he doesn't come out to play that much, but he's the one who's making the calls. He's the one who's in the lobby chat, so I see his name a lot.
Then we have the Catan. He's the guy who's usually on either the Tier 6 or the SPG, one of those kinds of tanks. Here's the Caren Tigers. Do you want to read this one too, Wolf?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the more important ones. Polly, she's got a PhD, by the way. Iwami, Reno, Obelisk. In physics, which is important for World of Tanks. Obelisk, the best SPG player in the world. No one's ever disputed that. Mishima, Lobos Tommy, Aki, Pitsit, who's actually getting a lot more play recently. Shinoza. Just to name all the guys out there. Starren, one we probably see the least, I would say, but every now and then. Modame as well, we see pretty much consistently every game.
So Caren Tigers said that they think that Shinoza has the best micro techniques in all of Asia, and that Akib is apparently super kawaii.
Oh, he probably is. He probably is. No doubt. I want to put some real talk out there, Susie. Like, for these teams like Immortals, if they can win, beating Caren Tigers is how you actually make it out of the middle and get to the top. Because every one of those teams is going to get 3 points off of Run and Team Coalition, right? But if you can beat the top team, because this is a round robin, it's like, well, you got 3 points off of Caren Tigers, so nobody else did. So that's actually how you're going to get ahead.
That is very true.
And obviously beating the teams head to head will help you as well. But this would be a great opportunity for the Immortals to get up there.
At the same time, if Caren Tigers wants to stay where they are at number 2, just right behind Elong's heels, and want to show the world that, you know, they're not that far down. You know, obviously they want to make that sure that that gap between 3rd and 2nd is huge.
Yep.
And if they lose this, then, you know, that gap just gets smaller, and I don't think that'd be very good for them either.
Yeah, I don't think so. We'll have to wait and see, though, how that kind of ends up turning out today. That is to say, before we get like, too far ahead of ourselves. The maps that we're going to be seeing today are Mines and then Ruinberg. So totally different maps from what we saw in our first series. No overlap whatsoever. Yeah,
so yeah, like we said, Immortals will be on the attack first, and then Caren Tigers on the defense. And it looks like the game is now ready. So we're going to go ahead and get to set number 1 on Mines. All right, welcome to Mines, everyone. Immortals versus Caren Tigers. This is set number 1. Caren Tigers on the defense.
All right, so right now for the Immortals, 1 IS-3 and 5 T-54s. So using that beach side, definitely going to be their plan of attack. Whereas Caren Tigers using a lot of IS-3s, 3 of them, and then 3 T-54s with, of course, Obelisk on the bird.
Yeah, of course. It like makes me excited when I see Obelisk, and I'm like, yes, it's an FP304.
Yeah.
But okay, so here we go. Like you said, it looks like Immortals are going to head down to that lighthouse and beach area, and which means most likely capture point number 2, as you guys can see on the screen here. This is the one that they're going to go for.
Already, Obelisk with a great hit on one of those T-54s. Gets a second hit on its deck warrior, who's actually taking damage.
Catan is taking quite some damage. He's going to use this little ramp to slide on down. Be careful, dude. Wow, did you see that little spinning, rotating
yeah, he definitely
maneuver
he made sure he didn't take any fall damage there.
Very, very smart, yes.
It's usually only a little bit of fall damage you take unless you like kamikaze off the side, which we have seen before. It's quite entertaining.
Yes, we have.
But you know, minimizing damage, obviously a nice thing to do.
Okay, we've got the Immortals. We have an IS-3 sitting in that base. Started that base capture. Reaper is the one who's going to be there. Blackheart looks like he's taking quite some damage,
yeah,
though.
Obelisk hit him. Again, he's just continuing to actually hit players today.
Wow, Obelisk. Well, you know, he is amazing. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Reaper,
he's just really amazing, yeah?
Yeah, he's just amazing. There he is, the amazing Bert.
The amazing Obelisk. People from all over the world tune in to watch him. 828 damage already given this game. Modame 2v1 is going to get caught.
Yeah, he is definitely going to get caught, and he needs to run away very quickly. Remember, these are T-54s, however, and if he could make a run for it.
The problem is he's driving backwards, which is always going to be difficult. Oh, is he going to try to sneak out down the slide?
Oh.
Look at Aki giving cover fire. This is actually so smart. They actually can't chase.
They actually can't chase after him. That is amazing. Now from, yeah, Akiv just from afar is going to try to cut down Sun so that he can't hurt his friend. And, but base capture, I mean, it keeps getting reset. Reaper did take some damage. It's back up to 90 seconds again. And slowly, all right, Hades going to try. He really wants to kill Modame.
I think he's going to get him with Sun's support here.
I don't know. Sun is going to go down with it, though. Akiv has his eyes definitely over to this section, and so does Obelisk.
Obelisk is going to take the shot. Let's see if he gets it.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he just hit Hades again. Yeah. Obelisk is incredibly accurate on this bird.
If he could hit Sun, though, that would be so important. Speak of the devil.
Oh
my God.
I can't even.
So I need more of this in my life.
I need more Obelisk in my life.
Okay, there he goes. Finally
he does do it.
down.
Akiv, like I said, does have that cover fire. He was going to shoot down the guy who protects his friend. Blackheart now is down to quite a little bit of HP.
Where is my next Obelisk shot? It looks like he just barely missed Sun by like 1 pixel on my screen.
But you know, as that was going on, Reaper has still been very consistently capturing this base. They're down to 35.
Speak of the devil. Sorry, Obelisk was like, nah, sorry,
yeah.
actually.
Well, Polly was shooting. I think he kind of fell off that cliff.
I think that was an accident.
I think so too.
That's really rare that that's unintentional, but I think that might have actually been an accident. I think you're right. I think that was actually a mistake.
He was like looking to shoot at him and aim, and then didn't realize how far off the ledge he was. Yeah. Anyway.
Reaper, I mean, he got denied though still, so Aki is going to come over here now and help finish this off. It's problematic for the Immortals that they're so down in hit points.
You know what, I like the fact that Caren Tigers are just totally ignoring the fact that Reaper is sitting there, you know, like he's just been sitting there for 99 seconds again, and everyone's just trying to pick off all the other tanks because they just don't see him as a threat.
Yeah, he's not a threat, he's just one tank. They occasionally, when it gets down to like 40, they're like, I guess we'll deny it.
I guess we'll just shoot him.
But otherwise, yeah, he's just a tank that's missing, and he's not in a position to actually deny anything. So the Immortals are eventually just going to get worn out here.
Okay, if you guys look on the mini-map here, there's like 3 separate battles going on. There's one up north, one at the capture point.
Ooh, he's going to go for the ram kill! And
he gets that. That was awesome. I love it. Love it. And then you see on the east side, there's Obelisk, and he's just going off shooting people and not missing.
Blackheart's very, very low here.
Okay, Pitsit is going to come around. Well, Pitsit is definitely going to come around and try to finish him off.
Ooh, they both miss.
Oh, they both.
Does Obelisk take the shot?
Just base. Oh, man.
Obelisk does not take the shot.
He hasn't taken the shot yet, and
he took a different shot.
Right, but while we were watching this fight, other members of the Immortals have been dropping like flies. Reaper, the guy in the base capture, is the only one left, and the entire team now can just come in and focus him down. Here's Reno. He's going to try his luck.
Yep, he's just going to drive by here. Aki with a support fire as well, and Reaper should be taken out. 2 more shots will do it. 1 more actually at that angle will actually penetrate enough to do that damage. Caren Tigers will take the first win. Had a pretty long opening game here. Mine usually produces the longest games, actually.
I think so, too. But like I said, really, really patiently done by Caren Tigers. They were just not even fazed at all by the fact that the base capture was going down.
Obelisk MVP also, by the way. It's so much consistent damage. He probably got close to 2K damage all on his own that last game because he was able to take out all of the hit points of the Catan. They denied the base capture at Reaper a few times, and a few of the other tanks, just kind of whoever he felt like. He's like, just spin the little dial, it like lands on the Catan. He's like, all right, I'll try to kill him. He's like, Sun over there, I almost killed you, but whatever, I'll kill the other guy. Like,
he was definitely the assist player. Like, wow.
Sun and can't remember who was with him actually because he went down so fast. Actually, trying to kill Reno over there was. That cost them a lot because they were kind of pinned down trying to kill this player that cost them so many hit points because Obelisk was on point on defending. And so they ended up getting 1 tank for 2 basically, and that set them behind. Plus they had Reaper missing because he was on the capture point the entire time, which definitely hurts their
There's
ability
no
to
damage
position.
going on from him, right?
Yeah.
And he's just kind of sitting there because nobody was in that area anyhow.
Yeah, he's just removed from play, essentially.
Akiv also did an amazing job just from afar, just sniping down those shots that he really needed, you know, just giving people cover fire instead of just ramming in. What I liked about this, and why am I so... I'm not articulate tonight. I really do apologize. Right. But what I liked about the way the Caren Tigers played was the fact that, yeah, it was very patient, and nobody rushed in hopes to, like, shoot at short range. They just kind of took their long-range shots.
I think that's why the bird is so popular on this map, because there's so much terrain you can shoot over, including that area that Reaper is kind of hiding behind in his location, but also just the way that the map plays out. I think it's a slower map if you're playing well. I mean, don't ask Run and TCSG how they play on this map because they're like, is it steps? Like, they play like it. But yeah, it's definitely a good choice on the map. And when you've got the best Obelisk player, the best SPG player in the world.
The best Obelisk. We keep doing this.
I know.
Okay, guys, we're going to go straight into game number 2. All right, set number 2 has begun. Caren Tigers up 1 game, and they are on the defense again.
Just looking at these tank lists. Ooh, a T-32 gets teched in here for the Immortals.
Ooh.
So they're running 1 IS-3 with those T-54s this time. 3-3 still for Caren Tigers. Can you imagine a world where we actually have, like, what if you had 7 Obelisk versus, like, whoever else claims to be the best Burt in the world who's wrong? They actually just had to fight each other. That would be a sick match.
Could you imagine if we had all 7 tanks be SPGs and they're just like lobbing at each other? And
that would be so fun. We need to set up an exhibition match like this.
That's hilarious.
I'll play.
I love my arty players.
Okay, so we do see. Hades runs over here to lead the charge.
Yes. Again, all the lightweights, the T-54s, are going over to the beach area as they normally do. This is a very, very common strategy and a common setup, and they're just going to position themselves over there for now. Caren Tigers a little bit more spread out this time around. It looks like we do have one T-54 from Caren Tigers heading over to that island to make sure and see that they're there.
Yep.
And this time, it looks like the Catan on the IS-3, he's going to start the base capture.
That he does. It's already, you know, down to 69 seconds, but probably not going to last too long here. We haven't seen too much action from Opolis this game. I don't know who he's targeting, but he hasn't hit anything yet. The Immortal's still at complete full hit points. Look, he's just trying to position himself. He's at base capture 1 currently.
Oh, well, there you go. Ningyo just took a little bit of damage. We can see Reaper has taken a little bit of damage. Here we go, Opolis. Who are you trying to hit?
I think he's trying to hit Sun, actually.
All right, Polly and Hades just right on each other on the other side of this little hill. They're like star-crossed lovers who want to get to each other, but they can't.
Yeah, it's really sad, actually.
And they're both going to die anyway. Oh my god, it's like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my god, you're making me really sad, Susie. Don't do this to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, base capture is at 89 seconds. Again, it looks like Caren Tigers really don't care. They're just going to sit there and let it happen. Catan does take a little bit of damage. I think that is from Opolis. He's just lobbing over things. Make sure this base capture... Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
The base capture timer is just going to, you know, just keep resetting. And also, you have to know that the terrain really does affect how fast the tank is going too.
Yeah.
Yep, he's going to go try to hit Catan again, and he's in the water, so he can't move around as much as he would on
yeah, it's a bit tougher to wiggle. It's actually so funny watching these 254s. Like, you made it a really sad story, but I actually think it just looks goofy. Paul is like, I see you. Can't do anything about it, but I know you're there. I would love him to just roll over and ram into Hades just directly.
Okay. Again, it is now down to 4 minutes left in this game. 3 minutes of just kind of standstill. Immortals really needs to do something. I know they're trying with Catan, but it doesn't seem that Caren Tigers really cares so much about this base capture.
Caren Tigers' position in the middle of the map is so good that, ooh, that was a nice shot. It's so good that it's really tough for them to actually go and try to like hunt down Obelisk. Like, he's just too well covered right now. And every time this gets reset is a big problem because they're not gaining any ground. Like you said, they need to do something, and they're just simply not. Obelisk is going to take another shot here as soon as he feels he's got the vision.
Yeah. Oh,
that's all right.
Not quite. Very close, though. And Catan is taking some shots at Pitsit. But again, yeah, he's just sitting in the water, kind of enjoying the beach.
You know what I feel like would be a good strategy for the Immortals, considering how they're playing this, is if the base capture... Oh, he got hit again. Or actually, I think he might have just accidentally got out for a second. If they're able to get the base capture down to like 50 seconds, just actually just send 2 more tanks in there, 2 of the lightweights to the south,
and try to rush it.
And hope that like the Obelisk misses and they're out of position. Because those 2 254s were in position enough to where they could actually try to force something to happen.
I would say just try to spread out inside that base capture so that Obelisk can't hit you, because, you know, then there's like 3 different targets and there'll be no splash damage. Okay.
They're actually going to make a move here on Polly.
Yes, I see that. So Sun and Hades now, they're going to come around. Hades like, enough of this long-distance relationship. I'm coming after you.
He's like, you don't need Sun. I'm here for you now.
Hades back behind this rock.
Stop writing letters to him like, I'm right here. I'm here when you need me.
I'm
Polly.
here for you to kill.
Polly, I love you. Polly, I love your PhD.
Dude, imagine you got a PhD in physics just so he can be a better World of Tanks player.
That would be crazy. In an awesome way.
In the most awesome possible way ever? Okay. Well, it looks like Ningyo is getting lobbed at, and he's down to 44 HP. Again, now we are under 2 minutes left in this game. Immortals really needs to do something. Like you said, maybe when they get to 50 seconds, they should just run in and try to capture this base. But it doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. Blackheart is so far away from everyone.
Yeah.
And he's trying. I know he's been taking shots at all those IS-3s along the coast, but he hasn't really done much. Modame, finally, first guy to go down in this game at 1:32 left.
It's impossible to capture the base now with one tank. They're going to need multiple tanks, so this is going to become an elimination.
Shoot. They found Obelisk, and he's going to try to take him down.
They finally do get this position, actually.
Unreal Rogue finally does get him down, and while that's happening, Sun and Hades both looking for Polly's love right there.
The thing is, they can't. They're ahead if this is going to be an elimination game no matter what, but it's actually... It's not. They needed to capture. Now they can't capture, and I don't think they can actually eliminate Caren Tigers in 60 seconds. They've got 60 seconds to eliminate Dekamori, Polly, Aki, and Reno.
I don't know. They're doing a pretty good job. Now Hades and Sun both fighting for Polly's love, basically. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get that final kill? Polly is running away. She's had enough.
The story of this Polly-Sun love triangle may come to an end. Whoa, he gets away.
Polly does get away.
40 seconds to go. They have to eliminate.
Sun is the one who's like, no, I love you, Polly. I love you, Polly.
Will Reno kill him for it?
Oh,
Will his love be fatal? 28 seconds to go. Dekamori still at several hit points.
Okay, wow. So Caren Tiger is only down to one member left.
But he's in such a good spot. I don't think they can kill him.
In 19 seconds, can he be able to hide? He is a T-54. He does have the speed and
maneuverability.
Yes, that word. To be able to get away. 10 seconds. Will they be able to do this?
I don't think they can get him. They know where he is.
Unreal Rogue is after him, though.
The Sixth Sense didn't go off. He doesn't know. Actually, Dekamori can kill Unreal Rogue as well.
Okay, Unreal Rogue just kind of drives by, doesn't feel him, and that's it. Caren Tiger wins.
Well, honestly, that was a pretty weird game for the Immortals. They waited so long.
They did wait too long.
And at the very end of the game, like they sent 2 tanks on the base capture. I'm like, you guys are professionals. Don't you know that's not? You don't have enough time. You actually need to send tanks in 7 directions. Like, or in this case, we had 5 tanks left, I believe. Like, send them all in 5 different directions to find and kill Dekamori, because if he lives, you lose. It's just physically impossible.
Yeah.
If they had Polly on their team, would have been like, well, actually, I could tell you guys about time. You don't have enough.
Here's the formula for it, guys. Anyway, yeah, that was. I feel like Immortals definitely waited way too long to make a move, and it cost them for sure.
Well, they just didn't. It seemed to be like a coordination problem, because, or maybe they were like so focused on getting the kill, and they were like, wait, I think we can still cap, but they couldn't. Not enough time. Rough game there for them, to be honest. They definitely didn't get any ground at all.
No.
And hopefully they can do a good job defensively here as we switch sides now. But Caren Tigers just crushing them both games. Even though you might be saying, well, Wolf, I don't know about that. I mean, Caren Tigers almost lost that game. No, they knew what they were doing, though, and they knew that they could actually just continue to sit back like that. When they started to lose their members, they were like, oh, you waited too long. We're fine. We're just going to send everyone go to a different place. Like Dekamori, you hide up to the north, you hide over to the east, and they just split up into different directions. So they knew there was only 60 seconds left.
That was really well done. Again, patience, right? Caren Tigers, instead of being like, oh gosh, we're losing members, go kill them, it was more like, all right, spread out, run out the time, and we're going to win this.
They know the win condition, you know, and they use it to their advantage. So a great game by them. Pretty impressed.
That is pretty impressive. Okay, yeah, so as they switch sides now, I guess we'll expect some tank changes?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's get into game number 3 and see what those might be. Okay, guys, set number 3, Immortals versus Caren Tigers. And we have Caren Tigers up 2 games. Immortals now on the defense.
Obelisk still on the Burt. No surprise there. Very good technical lineup for Caren Tigers. So with 2 IS-3s and a T-32 and 3 T-54s. Whereas we see 1 T-32 IS-3 and the rest for T-54s for the Immortals. Same lineup they used last game, even now on the defending side. And Caren Tigers moving all together here. Looks like they're just going to use Burt to help push this forward.
Well, okay, so the Burt is going to stay back. He's all the way up north, like we can see, but you're right, the entire team of Caren Tigers are going to go straight for the mine and see what they can do in the center of this map. Already we could see that there's some shots onto Madame, but Madame does not take any damage, which is great.
That shot on Unreal Rogue from Obelisk is actually insane. That he would even predict that that tank would be there without having vision. I can't even explain how amazing his play is right now.
He just knows, man. That's
he
why
just
he's the best. That's why he's the best in the world. All right, Catan's 6th sense is up.
He hits Catan. It ricochets, unfortunately, but he didn't miss. I just want to continue to commentate Obelisk's shots as
Should
a
we
slow
just talk
early
about
game.
Obelisk this entire game?
We can't. He hits Catan again. This time it does a little bit of
fanboys.
damage.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, see, look, now we're taking a close look at this guy, like this amazing Burt player.
All right, Ningyo's like, I've had enough of this. I'm going to go and try to find Obelisk, and I want to get rid of him.
This is so smart, actually.
Yeah, because Obelisk has been such a threat. He's been doing so much damage, just chipping away at everyone, and also exposing everyone, because once you're hit by Obelisk, you want to move, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's really smart for Immortals to try to go and get rid of him first.
Hades is going to take some serious damage here, but they do find Obelisk, meanwhile, and he is going to get taken out.
Here come the assault. Hades is going to get shot at by 3 different members. There we go. Polly does take him out.
Obelisk survives.
Obelisk is still alive?
How did he survive? They left him there. It's almost as if they thought Blackheart just left him there. Or no, it wasn't Blackheart. It was Ningyo. He left him there. And now he's still alive, and Ningyo took some damage. He's out of position, and Caren Tiger is just going to crush this game as a result. I don't even know where Sun's trying to go.
I don't know either. Reno is like, where are you going? Let me shoot you, dude. And Ningyo does take out Obelisk, and Reno does take out Sun. But
Ningyo's going to lose his life.
Yes, he really is. Deco Mori's like, dude, you killed our Obelisk.
No one is happy about that. Like, people right now
put him in a corner. Nobody puts Obelisk in a corner.
Yeah, like right now in Tokyo, people are like rallied in the streets about this. They're like, no more Ningyo. All right, that's going to be
Modame did try to ram into him and took damage himself instead, but I don't think it really mattered because Caren Tigers wins with plenty of tanks left, and that was going to be set number 3.
You know what's interesting about, this is like a complete aside from that game because you wrapped that up pretty well, pretty succinctly there. Ningyo, I think, is a Japanese word. I think it's the word for doll. Just putting it out there. Because you said that you were talking about my Japanese earlier. I'm like, I do have like a little bit. You know, I was like pretty sure that's the case. I hope the Japanese commentators are listening. Shout out to them, by the way, doing the casts in a foreign language as well.
Yep.
And they probably don't have my audio, or that'd be really distracting. But you know,
hopefully they don't. But yeah, this stream is actually going out in Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, English, and I don't think it's in Korean though.
No,
we don't have Korean teams here, duh. Okay.
Yeah, not in Korean right now. The Korean commentators focusing on the Korean League, which will also, of course, go to the same finals at the end of it. So
that will be the APAC-ASIA finals.
That's going to be sick.
And yeah, it is. And the Chinese teams are going to join there too,
yeah.
so that's going to be really awesome. But
oh
anyway,
my God.
Whew, yeah, Obelisk. I thought that was really smart of Ningyo to try to go and get rid of him, because obviously, yeah, Obelisk has been doing so much damage, just left and right, just.
I just don't know what happened with Ningyo. He went over there, he nearly killed Obelisk. Obelisk hid behind a building, and then Ningyo was like, oh my God, my team's fighting, and then he went back to fight. And then before he got back to help fight with his team, he was like, oh, I guess I didn't kill him, and then went back again to kill Obelisk, but he was just never involved in the fight.
Yeah, the going back and forth there probably
bit of indecision, right?
Cost him a little bit of time. All right, so as we go into game number 4 now, we're going to have to see if there's anything that the Immortals can do. So let's take a look. All right, guys, set number 4. Caren Tigers are up 3 games, and Immortals are on the defense once again.
All right, so
no,
Obelisk is off the Burt. He realizes that he's basically kind of a liability for his team right now. And last game, to be honest, even though he hit a lot of shots, like the shells hit, they did not penetrate. He did very little damage. Even though they won that game, I think it's a smart choice to switch him off of that because he was definitely not as effective in game 3.
Right, and again, I see the Burt being a lot more effective, like you said, as defense.
Yeah.
But on the offense, they do need something with a little more mobility and a little more damage.
Especially with how the Immortals are playing. And by the way, Sun takes massive damage early on. He's always the one.
Why? Yeah. He's just not in a very good place.
He's the most popular one. They're always after him.
The Caren Tigers here, as a pack, going to move up. But oh my gosh, they're going to get found. Reaper and the Katana right behind them. They're surrounded right now by Immortals from all different directions. However, they're still able to avoid shots.
Yeah, Polly's going for it. We love to see that.
Yeah, we love
Chase.
that slide.
There goes Ningyo,
All
and
right,
Blackheart
and they're
misses.
going to try to get Blackheart. It's okay, Deco is right behind them too, and so is Reno. It looks like they're going to be able to focus fire him down. Come on, guys.
One more shot,
and
Modame
Modame
comes
too.
to help.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
All right, Catan again. He's the one who's set in the middle. I think everyone's going to focus on him. Very good communication by Caren Tigers to take out tanks one by one instead of spreading your fire everywhere, right?
Opolis, can he make the shot? No. He gets taken out by Unreal Rogue.
And, oh gosh, Akeem is just going to...
He needs his next shot, but he should
like,
get it in
I'm a big
minute.
fan, son. Can I come follow you?
Everyone's after Sun so much.
Aww.
Sun finally gets taken out here. And Hades and Unreal Rogue, the last two members, they'll go down here shortly.
They will, exactly. There's only 2 tanks left. Caren Tigers doing an amazing job picking one and really focusing on him like that. And, yep, that's going to be the end. Caren Tigers takes game number 4. They take all 4 games on Mines. And next we're on Ruinberg.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see if Immortals have anything up their sleeve.
Caren Tigers on the attack on Ruinberg as well. So right now the Immortals need to start thinking of a defensive strategy. Ruinberg is the map we see players try to escape the city on the attacking side. I guess in a little bit, depending on how long it takes them to get ready, we'll probably see a video of that. So I shouldn't talk about it too much before you guys see it, or else it'll be redundant. But I don't know, like, Caren Tigers are just way better. They're looking phenomenal today. They're not making mistakes, and I can't imagine Immortals even, like, at this point, I can't even imagine them killing more than 1 tank in this next game. Like, that's how well Caren Tigers is playing.
No, Immortals will still be able to do that. All right.
I'm teasing.
Like we said, we're going on to Ruinberg. So here is a short clip of Ruinberg, so we could introduce it to you.
So let's talk about the attacking side, especially where Caren Tigers is going to be spawning on this map. It's going to be right in the middle of things, right here. They're going to spawn in that red dot, and then the blue team, the defending team, is going to spawn here. This location where you see that road on the very far right side is where you want to defend, because that's one of the most open expanses of the map. Of course, the attacking side is going to try to move towards one of these 3 locations, usually the middle, sending their 1 tier 6 to the north. Try to get over there and then start to move into that capture point, but avoiding, of course, as best as they can, those tanks that are on the right side, facing them, like looking down that pathway. Right,
so again, here's the defensive spawning point. That road that goes straight down from them, that's the road that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you go look a little bit outside the city, that little town area, and there is the base capture point right there as well. And that road is basically what you want to make sure it's covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, usually both teams will send 1 tier 6 up to the north just to see if they're doing the opposite of what you'd expect on this map. Because every now and then that happens. For example, like we saw in the previous series, TE decided to do that against B Gaming on Himmelsdorf, where they went for the opposite capture point that you'd expect, and it almost worked. So if you don't have a scout for that, sometimes that can actually catch you off guard, and you can actually lose the game for it.
Absolutely. So yeah, like we said, the base capture near the town, out in the open, that's the one that's mostly contested, but every once in a while we will see the one up in the city part up north get contested as well. So
yeah, that's the one where you can actually contest, like on the corner. It's not quite like Himmelsdorf, where you can contest, an attack from the side of the wall where you're not really exposed. So it's a little bit more tough to actually take it.
And it depends on the tank picks too, right? Like because Himmelsdorf is like half city, half not city, we will see a good mix of heavy tanks and light tanks in this. And depending on the tanks, we could tell kind of which way they're going to go.
Yeah, like most teams will throw like 2 T-54s in on top of their tier 6 lightweight, whichever they choose, which is usually the T-37, but sometimes we see 12 tons on this map as well for the extra damage. I feel like the best way for Caren Tigers to play this is to actually stay pretty heavy, even though they have to leave the city and it's going to take them a longer way to do it. I feel like their accuracy is so good and their positioning is so good that if they bring a bunch of extra IS-3s, even though it's going to take them longer to actually push out and get to that location, when they get there, they can just win the fight and win. Will they do that? It's really up to them. We haven't seen them play on this map in a while, so I'm not exactly sure.
They are a very patient team, so even if it took 3 minutes for an IS-3 to make it out of the city, I think they're okay with that.
Yeah.
They would just be able to roll with it, get it rolled, and okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I could roll with that joke, Susie.
Yeah?
I could roll with it.
Okay, anyway, so yeah. So, I mean, even if they did take the heavier tanks and they decide to get out of the city that way, yeah, like you said, I think their accuracy and the way they play would suit them very well.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to wait and see once the game gets loaded what tanks they're picking.
We will take a look. The first set, I believe, Immortals are on the defense,
yes.
and we are now ready. So let's get into it. All right, guys, we are on Ruinberg. This is set number 5. If Caren Tigers wins this, this is the series. Let's take a look at the tanks.
Oh, Caren Tigers. I was talking so much about how I wanted to see you guys do it a little slow. We got 3 T-54s, a 1390 autoloader, an IS-3, and a 5100 with the MT-25 for Obelisk. He's doing his own thing. And down here for the Immortals, or up here, I should say, to the north as they are on the defense, 2 IS-3s, 1 5100, 2 T-54s, and that 1390, of course, as well as the T-37, which I did mention before is a tank that you do see players tech in every now and then. I believe we've seen the Obelisk play on the MT-25 in the past. It's one of those tier 6 tanks that's a bit tankier, doesn't have that much damage, but is sacrifices some of its speed.
It's the one that becomes the LTTB, basically. It's a tier 6.
Yeah.
The LTTB is the tier 7, basically. It is a little bit tankier. It's a Soviet tank, and yeah, it just looks like Obelisk decides, you know what, I'm just going to use this one.
Well, it does kind of suit their composition. They're actually doing a crazy strategy, which we were talking so much about the tanks, we didn't really get to talk about it yet. They're actually sending 3 tanks to each side.
Ooh.
Yeah, they took out Unreal Rogue already, eliminated that T-37. That might have just been their plan. Okay, let's see if we can kill this tier 6, excuse me, not tier 7, but T-37. And Reaper is getting low as well, and they're actually just like winning both battles, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay, Obelisk does go down.
Look at what's going on the other side of the map as well. Catan is getting insanely low.
There's just battles on 2 different sections of this map.
Okay, Madama gets very low. Catan actually wins that fight, but he's very low himself.
Yeah, Blackheart is going to get rammed by Pitsit and Dekomori, but they're just going to, people are taking shots from all different angles. We're only seeing this little portion of the map, but you can see that there are tanks falling left and right. There's like husks, I'm sure, all around this poor city.
Yep.
Blackheart goes down. It is important. A 4v4.
Yeah, I think that Caren Tiger has a pretty big advantage right now because Ningyo is actually out of rounds. Polly gets taken out though, so that changes things. If they can actually keep Ningyo alive for 22 more seconds, then he's going to be able to come back in and do some damage.
Gosh,
this is actually a really close game.
This is a really interesting game. Definitely a strategy that we haven't seen before, and Caren Tiger's not playing as patiently and calmly as we expected them to.
Right, the exact opposite, basically. Tagging 2 different locations, expecting their opponent's setups. Caren Tigers has read the Immortals really, really well.
And again, just like we expected them to play patiently, obviously they came in with something completely different, and the Immortals just need to have some sort of answer to this.
It's very difficult for them to actually deny the base capture right now. That's why Hades is trying to move up here to hit Reno. Okay, he does get hit here.
It looks like Sun and Catan, yeah, they definitely want to try to stop this base capture.
Ooh, Ningyo is reloaded currently, and he takes out a key.
Yep, and now there are only 2 members left. Pitsa does take damage. It looks like Immortals may go ahead and take this round.
Yep, they definitely will. There's no way Reno can actually win this. He would have to kill 3 tanks as an IS-3. And Catan's going to finish him off. The Immortals will take their first set here.
Wow.
Very strange strategy from Caren Tiger.
Okay, and I want to go ahead and say that they lost this because they didn't play the way that they normally play.
Yeah,
I think they rushed it. It was a really weird it was one of those, like, you look at the map and you go, wait, what are they actually doing? Oh, they're already shooting at each other, and you just don't even realize it.
It's a very run-esque, like very TCSG-esque strategy, but it's like they split their tanks into 2 groups, and then they were trying to rush the capture at the end, which then made them vulnerable.
Yeah.
They never finished off Ningyo. Ningyo was the MVP. He got like 3, I think he used 3 whole sets of his entire rounds.
Wow.
That should never happen. If that happens, it means that he did way too much damage.
Which means that Caren Tigers didn't do a good job of getting rid of the heavy damage dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this next game, we're going to see a lot more patient play, but Caren Tigers, I really do feel like they're going to go back to what they're used to.
I think they might even switch their tanks, actually, to more what I was expecting them to do, the slower tanks. But, I mean, the tanks themselves that they picked are still good if they want to play like that. The strategy itself, I don't want to say it's good or bad because it's the first time I've seen it. It almost worked. And so let's see if they decide to do the same thing here again.
Okay. It looks like Caren Tigers are going to be changing out a player as well. I think they're taking Pitset out. And then
Shinoza,
yeah, we're going to get Shinoza back in. And
yeah. Switching their tanks a little bit as well, actually, towards more IS-3s and 1390s. So a little more damage, a little more on the heavy side of things with the IS-3. I like this play a little bit more. I think it's more standard anyways.
Yeah.
And when you look at second best team in the league using the standard strategy, I think that's the way to go about things. That last game might have been more of an experiment for them.
I think it was because they had nothing to lose.
Yeah, and the Immortals
really
are pretty good. It's just like a pretty good test subject to actually put the strategy on because the Immortals are not like a weak team or like, let's see if this works. It's like, okay, this team is really good. If it doesn't work against them, maybe it's not a good strategy, but we're up so much in this match. We're probably going to win it. Let's test this. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
Maybe it can catch them off guard. Maybe we can use this against like Elong later on this map. We kind of tech it in like, oh, they'll never expect this. This is a viable strategy that we figured out.
Maybe, but at the same time, then why would you put it on a televised match where everyone can see it and learn from it and take notes?
I don't know. I mean, it's only if they only use it once, I think it's fine. It may be something we never see again, anyways. It could just be something they prepared for this match in particular.
That's true.
We'll never know, unfortunately.
All right. Well, yeah, like we said, it has been confirmed. Pitsit is going out and Shinoza is coming back in for this, and it looks like everyone is kind of ready.
Everyone's in the lobby at least, so.
And, okay, so, I mean, Immortals are on the defense again. Caren Tigers definitely will be playing much more patiently this time around. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, just a slower push probably towards the second capture point. Okay, they did switch the players. They had the wrong player in there. Now Shinoza's in the lobby. So I believe that'll do it. I think we're ready.
I think we are. I'm excited to see what they could do here.
Me too. All right.
I don't know.
It's time, Susie.
I think it's time. I'm sorry for... All right, yes, now they are finally ready. So we're going to go right into the next game. Welcome to set number 6, Immortals versus Caren Tigers. Caren Tigers are up 4 games. Immortals managed to take 1, and here is the new tank list.
Caren Tigers 1 in 5100 and IS-3, 1390. 3 T-54s, so still very quick, actually, with this lineup. Just a little bit tankier, a little bit more safe, I guess. Whereas for the Immortals, 2 IS-3s, 5100, 2 lightweights, and a 1390, and T-37. I like their lineup a lot. I like theirs a lot. I think it's a really good lineup on the defense because they have 2 IS-3s who can help block, and they're going to look down that path to the right side. 5100s can support them, and they have lightweights that can continue to scout, as well as Unreal Rogue on the T-37 is going to be able to get some good idea about what they're doing. Then the Catan for extra damage. They've got Ningyo, and he clearly did a great job last game, but to have another 1390, a good choice.
Ooh, okay, Obelisk is going to start driving in circles around this base, and was shot at a couple times. Doesn't take any damage, however. Whoa!
Dekamori taking some serious damage.
What is going on with you, man?
Get
out of there.
Yeah, already a huge lead for the Immortals.
Immortals did an amazing job picking one player and deciding to focus fire on him because Dekamori is now down to 115 HP.
It was Ningyo and Catan that fired on him, so those are the big damage dealers, and they both hit, so he's basically removed.
Hit several times, it looks. Yeah, so okay, we see that Caren Tigers on the mini-map all the way down south and on the east side. But again, they're all up that road. You can see here Sun and Hades, they are focusing down this road down the east. And this is a very dangerous place for Caren Tigers to be.
Caren Tigers really having a tough time with this map. And actually now, Sun is on the hunt. If Pauly could find him, he could actually eliminate him. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Pauly does find him, and Sun is not paying attention. Aki could actually move in here to help finish him off.
Yep, it looks like Sun is going to just try to keep running down. Aki should come up and be able to finish him off.
Sun always the most popular, Susie.
Man, Sun is just like... I bet he has like 200,000 Twitter followers.
Probably. I'm jealous. Ningyo does take out Aki, but that actually is going to start his reload time. Pauly goes down here. Nice move by Hades.
That was pretty nice. Reno is out to kill him off as well. Obelisk goes down by Unreal Rogue. Caren Tiger's only down to 3 tanks now.
Yeah, Rodame got at least a 1390 gone, and Reno is not in a bad spot here. Now Reaper is going to make his life a little bit tougher. But it's going to be very difficult to capture at this point with the tanks they have left. And Rodame does get another kill.
What tanks that are left? Reno is going to go down, and there's only going to be 2 left, Wolf, and Caren Tiger. It just does not look good for them. Yeah. Reaper does finish off the job.
If Reaper missed there, I feel like they would have had a chance, but now I just don't think they do, Susie. Shinoza's on reload for 22 seconds.
Yeah, and so is Modame. He's got 17 seconds on him. Shinoza does go down, and yeah, this poor 1390 is just going to have to drive around to see if he can take down 4 tanks, 2 IS-3s, a 5100, and a T-54?
Yep. He's only got 3 minutes and 45 seconds to do that incredible task, Susie.
With, 239 HP, he's just going to have to dodge everything.
If he uses all 6 of his rounds, he's going to have to reload for 20 more seconds as well. Nope, Hades hits him. Good
Hades is like, nope. We were like totally theory crafting, but here Hades was like, no, I'm not having any of that. And Immortals goes ahead and takes another win.
Yeah, Caren Tigers is just having some trouble on this map. They're really, maybe it just goes against their playstyle or how they're wanting to approach this map right now. I have much better hopes for them when they're on the defending side, because they're just a safe, calm, defensive type team.
I think they'll be able to take this next one. I think Game 7 will go to Caren Tigers. And again, yeah, they're going to wait for Immortals to take that move. They're going to use that clock to their advantage, and I think they'll take this one.
When you look at how Caren Tiger plays even on the attack side on, say, mines, you notice that they play a very defensive attack. They move very slowly, very carefully, try to just eventually chip their opponents down, because there's so much time in World of Tanks. You have 7 minutes, actually, to capture the base or to eliminate your opponents. You have so much time. But if you look at this map, if you don't move out there early, you're never going to get out, because they're just going to actually block off both of your exit points, and you are not going to ever get any ground. So you do have to kind of rush out, and I feel like maybe that goes against Caren Tiger's playstyle. So it does hurt them when they're on the attack. But now they're on the defense, and I expect really good things out of them now that the sides have swapped.
Sides have swapped, and now players are swapping as well. On Caren Tigers, it looks like we're taking out Dekomori, and we're going to go to Hawami.
Okay.
Caren Tigers really likes to do this.
Yeah, they do. They're actually running, just looking at what they just typed in, a heavy lightweight lineup again with 2 IS-3s and a 5100. So basically kind of mirroring what we saw from the Immortals last game, which I was like, this is a good lineup. And it definitely turned out to be a great lineup. So I'm hoping we see something cool from them. Just while we have this extra time, looking at Immortals, 2 IS-3s, 1 AMX 5100, 2 lightweights, and it's like another tank I'm actually not familiar with.
What is that?
A VK-2801 and an AMX 1390. Let's see if that's actually correct when we get into the game. We will confirm, as I'm just kind of looking at the chat right now. And that could be
Stop spoilering, man.
Well, I mean, just
spoilers.
I want people to know. People need to know.
What if, they have that? What if people like it when that tank list comes up?
The
and they
tank
go,
list,
and you just spoiled that.
Yeah, the tank list is
You're awful.
It's definitely prettier than me, just kind of going I think that's what he said. I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, that's what he said in the chat. I don't know.
This guy. All right. Well, now that you've ruined the tank list thing, surprise for everyone. Sorry. I hope they're not too disappointed as we go into this next game. Set number 7, guys. Immortals slowly crawling up with 2 wins. Caren Tiger still at 4, and now they are on the defense on Ruinberg.
All right, let's talk about Caren Tiger's tank list for the defense. I already kind of mentioned it earlier. 150, 100, 2 IS-3s, 3 T-54s, and a T-37. On the attack for the first time, the Immortals are running 2 IS-3s, 150, 100 for that extra damage, 2 T-54s, a 1390, and the VK-2801, which we have seen before.
It's the German Tier 6 light tank.
Yeah.
And, it's the one actually right before the Spa-Panzer SPIC, the new one.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's see how well it works out for him here. It's just kind of a stylistic pick, and it's not really going to be the big game changer, obviously.
It just has a really good view range. I think that's why Unreal Rogue took it. It's really good for scouting.
Yeah.
And they will be able to, and it's good for it's good mobility and just kind of like turning around, though it is pretty big. It's clunky. Look at it.
Rushing this capture point. I don't think that Caren Tigers really knows how to respond that well here. Okay, now they're finally getting into good position, but like this is not what they expected at all, and almost no one does this on this map. If they had missed that shot, they could have started to get pretty scary.
Interesting, yeah, and Catan doing a good job hiding behind that husk of a tank. Opolis taking some damage from Sun over there, and yeah, this is really interesting.
I think that Caren Tigers is just going to kind of turtle this one out and keep denying the base capture, but they're not going to make a big forward movement.
Okay.
She knows it's coming in now.
Yeah, well, we can see here on the mini-map that we've got members of the Caren Tigers going back into the city, and I think they're going to try to capture or at least shoot down members of the Immortals from the other side, and they're not going to be expecting this.
This is what it feels like when I'm on the crowded subway and someone behind me needs to get out.
Are you the T-37
That's
here?
me, man. I'm like, oh, God.
And there's like an Ajima right behind you?
Exactly.
Okay. I totally understand.
Well, that means that Opolis can aim, actually, while he's being pushed towards his target.
Yeah, that's actually really smart. Dude, maybe that's what the Ajimas are doing for you, so you can aim better.
Yeah, well, Hades is not aiming in the right direction at all. He gets taken out here. 25 seconds to go on base capture, though.
Okay, and Reno does a great job in hitting Catan. Make sure that that base capture timer gets reset again. Catan is going to have to run out, but it looks like there's Reno. Polly's on the... Okay, yeah, Reno just decided no. Polly's like, hey, I want to join the party, but that didn't happen. It
Reaper
looks like...
is so low.
Yeah,
so is
looks
Nigo.
Like Caren Tigers are really deciding that they want... They said no more shenanigans. We're going to win this.
I mean, they've outpositioned here. They've outmaneuvered, and this strategy was really, it threw them off definitely at the beginning. But once they realized what was happening, they were like, oh, well, there's a reason why nobody does the strategy, right? Because it's just too hard to actually hold on to this base capture with a rush.
Oh, Blackheart is the last one left, and he's got 4 members surrounding him, sending their love with shells. And Caren Tigers will go ahead and take game number 5. And that's the series. That was actually a lot closer of a series than I expected it to be.
Well, yeah, me too. Even though it was definitely going to be the best series of the night, it was pretty close. Yeah, that was a good games by Immortals. The thing about these captures, the rushes that we see, is they usually fail, right? But every now and then you see it and you're like, oh my God, that was perfect. Yeah. It's usually when Elong is playing and you're like, whoa, they literally couldn't do anything. But like we see sometimes on these maps, there's one location that's hardly ever taken in competitive play, but it is closer, but it's more open, so it's easier to deny, and that's the one you see players rush because they get there very quickly. You know, your opponent's AMXs aren't even reloaded yet by the time you actually get there, and then you just kind of sit there and get in a good position, and you hope that you can actually either bait them in to overextending so you can defeat them, or that your opponent kind of ends up missing you because you're in a really good spot where you've got too much cover. I don't personally like those strategies that much, but it definitely works sometimes. In this case, didn't, but good try by Immortals.
Definitely good try. So we're getting notification. Sad to tell you guys, Run has not made it. They are disqualified. They're getting disqualification for today. And so Horsemen get an easy 3 points. That kind of changes up the playing ground. Again, the rankings are just kind of all over the place
now. But keep in mind, again, like I said before, and I'm just going to keep saying this real talk because I think it's really important to note at this stage in the tournament, getting a win over Run is like everyone's going to do that, right? So Horsemen didn't even have to show their strategy, so that is important. But you know, for Horsemen, it's like, okay, good, we've got this, that's good. Now we're going to beat the other teams when you go head-to-head. That's how they're going to get ahead. That's how they're going to get to that finals if they're going to make it. Because Run has only won 1 game versus TCSG, right? So they're the team that you expect to win. If you lose to them, you know, you might not actually make it because all the other teams are not.
Yeah,
so.
I understand, and I hate putting Run in a position like that, but as of right now, just the way that the rankings are, I guess.
I mean, it's just stats show. I'm like, they're like...
my bleeding heart feels really bad about it.
They're like 1 and 9, I think, Susie. 1 and 9 or 1 and 10.
I think so, too.
So.
All right, then. So, yeah, we've had 2 great series tonight. Let's take a look at the results. Here are the results for this evening. B Gaming versus TE. B Gaming taking a very easy 5-0 win. Then we had Caren Tigers won the first 4 really quickly. Immortals try to bring it back on a new map, but Caren Tigers win it out 5-2, and then unfortunately run with their disqualification, and Horsemen get their 3 points.
Yeah, gotta say, even though if you look at the score for the first game, it looks like B Gaming totally crushed. They did, but Team Efficiency definitely had some cool strategies. And I'm still looking forward to seeing how Team Efficiency is going to finish out this season, because I think they have a lot of potential, and I'm hoping that we can see a little bit more of that. Same with Run. I feel like the team is definitely it's got its own way of doing things. If we could just make it a little bit better, like make it a little bit more careful how aggressive they are, I feel like they could actually be a decent team. We don't even get to see them play today, which makes me really sad.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy watching them play. They have very fun tactics. And Horsemen, too, I love the way that they travel together in pack. And every time I picture them playing, I picture them with rubber horse masks, and that makes me very happy. Yeah. So, no, but I am very disappointed that Run didn't make it today, and hopefully we'll get to see them again. But here, you know what? On Monday, we'll be back, and here is the next matchups.
Yeah, next week, we're going to have TE versus Elong, so that's going to be a tough matchup. 2 tough matches back-to-back. That's unfortunate. Then Horsemen versus B Gaming, that could be one of those matches. That's one of those head-to-head matches in the middle of things. Horsemen could break through. I think Caren Tiger versus Coalition, that is going to be a very tough match for Coalition, but I always like to see Caren Tiger play, so I'm looking forward to those matches.
I am too, and that's all going to go down on Monday, July 20th at 8 o'clock. That's UTC +8, or it's at 9 p.m. Korea Standard Time. That's where we are, and we will be casting for you at that point. So hopefully you guys will mark it on your calendars and make sure that you, tune in and take a look. And
come check it out.
Yeah, Wolf and I tweet about it right before each cast anyway, so if you follow us on Twitter, then you'll be able to get all the updated information about it. And yeah, so that's Monday. Make sure you guys come by, 8 o'clock UTC. And I think that's going to be it for tonight, Wolf. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you back after a great weekend. Bye.